Hey guys, what's going on? This is Namkraft and welcome to this is Starcraft English commentary. Let's continue with ASL Season 21 Day 2 Open. This is going to be a game from round of 4 of the Group A, so we have not yet reached the elimination stage yet. This is, well, I guess everything is elimination stage, but not the actual head-to-head, big names phase. This is still the group phases, and we have 4 groups. This is going to be the set from, again from set... what is this? Round of four. Okay, this is going to be played between Royal and Mong TvT. And by the way, the map is not Neo Civit. This is a mistake from me. The map is Octagon. Let me just quickly update that. And right off the bat, we have some crazy stuff happening. Royal is going to be in the teal color located at the bottom right of the screen, going for an in-base barracks. And on the other side of the map, Mong is going to go for a forward barracks. This is kind of like a proxy, but it's not exactly a proxy. He's trying to hit both of the bases at the top left and the bottom right, and he has found this SCV. This SCV will actually attack it, and he has seen the barracks. So that is going to be the signal, I think, for Gigmo to forget what he's doing and just go somewhere else. He is trying to discover the enemy. Looks like Mong is not able to discover anything in the top left. He's checking the bottom left, and if he doesn't see anything there either, then he's going to be backing up. Now TvT could go very, very long, but at this early stage, what the player should be thinking about is how many Marines you should be making, because ideally you want to be making as few Marines as possible and immediately float the barracks up and try to go for scouting. And that's exactly what both of these players are doing. Mong is sending his barracks this way, and Royo is sending his barracks that way. But there's going to be a little bit of a aggression here from who. It looks like Mong has returned both of his Marines already, and so is Royo. Keep in mind, what else can we think about today? So keep in mind that I believe it is Royo who's got his vouchers slightly faster, but I think it might just be because he made his commands a little bit later, and he's prioritized going for the factory first. Looks like the voucher from Mong arrives. This floating barrack sees the vision of the area. Very nicely done. So I think Mong is going to be sitting back up and just relaxing here. We already had a game with Mong last week, I believe, right? Last open day. Okay, double factory coming out from Mong, and he is going to be maybe being applied to pressure soon. On this map, as you can see, the spawning positions would favor Mong. He's got a direct drop access into the middle area, so dropship play would be expected. But for now, armory coming up from Royal side, double factory, and the third one to be added. This is very interesting. So at the early stage, Royal would have slightly more vultures, and we are gonna get this classic vulture war. It looks like Mong is able to kill off a couple of vultures, but now he is behind in number. He's trying to pull back. He loses yet another vulture. We will try to attack on the high ground here, but he's gonna fall back. He's got the second vulture, but he need to repair. The Marine need to support as well. But it looks like at the last minute, things have stabilized, and both the players will be, back and calm and cozy in their respective corners. I had to actually make an announcement there because actually yesterday I thought there was this EST tournament, but it looks like we won't have the EST tournament, so that is slightly unfortunate. I think the EST tournament would take 1 week's of break, and we will be back soon. Okay, starboard coming up in the corner there. For Mong, very, very interesting. Like I told you, this map is very good for drops for Mong, but he decided just go for drops only after he has finished making his his vultures and make sure that he can defend against the early harassments here. It is going to be a couple of tanks. We do have vulture with mine. Royo is applying a lot of pressure. As for Mong, he's sitting back. He's got to be super careful because his vultures were out of position previously, but now they're going to be in position. They will be back here, and they will be hidden behind this wall. There are some tanks coming up. Keep in mind that, okay, mine research is completed, so for now, Royo will just, play mines everywhere, make sure that he gets everything covered, and then possibly try to expand He's going to be going for an armory himself, and additional units coming up academy just to make sure we can actually have some scans happening. So that's great. By the way, if you don't yet know about the structure of this ASL, we are going to be having day 1, day 2 open. These are massive tournaments where everyone, I don't know, age 18 to 65 maybe, who live in Korea could participate, and only the winner of each day will get a direct ticket into the round of 24 of ASL S21. The other players, they will have to play in the qualifiers. Now, I believe the qualifiers would take, because we have 24 players total, 4 players already have their seats from the previous tournament. I believe that's how it works. So 2 more seats will be given to the other players. So there's going to be 18 seats remaining, and out of the 2 qualifiers, there are going to be, I think, 2 days, right? So 9 seats per day. So I believe there will be 9 groups. There will be 9 groups per day, and each group will have, I don't know, possibly 64 players or something. It's a massive amount of players playing. So it's fun. It's very nice. And it looks like the drop from Mong has been spotted. He will lay a few Goliaths here, but I don't think he can accomplish much. Looks like from Royal, siege mode is not yet done. This dropship is trying to buy some time. He would just try to trade here. Okay, he's trying to get across the map. This is not bad because he sees that Royal only had 1 Goliath. He only had 1 Goliath, so the Goliath's gonna try to hide here in the corner, but there are additional Goliaths. So what is the plan? I think the plan is also just to contain the enemy, because behind this, Royal might be coming up for an attack. So by trying to keep the enemy's army back, he has more time to set up his ground forces at home, and possibly trying to upgrade onto siege mode himself and start to get a few tanks. But for now, Royal is the one who is got slightly map control, but in terms of supply, Royal is ahead. Looks like 4 Vultures going for a run by, but very lucky for Royal. He's got a couple of tanks sitting at home already, so he is going to be able to deflect this, but he might still take a lot of casualties. We are seeing that one last Vulture in the corner getting sniped. Okay, we have a small mine explosion. There may be a few more mine explosions to be expected in the future. Vultures on Vultures, but Royal have a slight advantage in terms of military. If he can actually get across this bridge on Octagon, he will be in a good position to contain the enemy. Keep in mind that we don't have yet a third base from either of the players. Royal is looking to take it at the 6 o'clock position. You see that he's put some armies there, and yeah, tank sieging on the low ground. He doesn't have vision, and looks like it is going to be Royal who is gonna prevail. Yes, he scanned his areas and he's gonna get across the map. Looks like siege mode for Mong is not yet done, only about 85%. So this high ground position has been ceded to Royal. He's gonna start to repair his SCVs. By the way, in the world of Starcraft today, who are the best players? As you can see, Light is number 1 at 1428, Flash number 2 at 1419, and then we have Bisu. We don't have Royal, we don't have Mong. You know, we might see them a little bit later in other groups. And there were a lot of questions. I think many of you have made some comments saying, you know, is Flash playing, blah, 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 and everyone is hoping that Flash will play. And I had that hope for some times, but now I'm pretty confident I can say that Flash will not play in this ASL. The reason being, I mean, this is method of deduction or induction or whatever. It's one of the methods. I'm not so sure exactly which. But the reason being is if he was able to play, he would have been played already in various tournaments. But he has not yet played in the KCM. He's not yet played in the EST. He has not yet played in last year's, right? So there's only one possible explanation. He's been soft banned by the organizing committee of ASL and various tournaments. Maybe that's what it is. I'm not so sure, because there's no reason on earth why a player of the caliber of Flush would not participate in any tournaments. Of course, he's still playing Pro Leagues, but Pro Leagues is kind of like... Pro Leagues is like Namkraft, right? You can just do whatever you want and nobody cares. But anyways, I digress. Back onto this game, what are we seeing from both of these players? Alright, there is gonna be some Vultures looking to attack the 6 o'clock position. Oh my god, there's so many SCVs here, but looks like there's enough tanks to defend. But Royal will still take a couple of hits. He is also trying to set up his own base. So very nice macro-oriented TvT to be expected. One thing I really enjoy, I think, to a certain extent of the ASL is that you do get a bunch of mirror matchup, right? In normal pro league, sometimes I think the players avoid mirror matchups. And even for things like, ladder series, they also just don't really play TVTs or whatever, ZVZ for that matter, because it's very, very boring, especially TVT, which could be very, very long, which cuts into the stream time of the streamer. But anyways, looks like it is Royal who is kind of on a loose here. I mean, he's being contained. He's getting pushed hard from several locations, and he's forced to sit back. Okay, he's on 3 bases, not bad. But these positions of these tanks are so strong. And Royal cannot break out. The question is, in TVT, you don't need to break out. You don't really need to break out, and you need to be super patient. But this floating barracks has been destroyed, which means that Mong will have less vision now. 4 tanks coming up. We have 3 dropships with a lot of additional forces. He would try to go inside and keep the enemy contained. This is a good strategy because behind this, Mong can keep on expanding. He can keep on expanding. There is going to be a single raid coming out. They need to target that very damaged Goliath. Can they snipe the Goliath? That is the question. On this side of the map, looks like the refinery is under siege. The additional tanks are coming out. He need to get that last tanks, and he gets most of the tank destroyed. Supply-wise, Royal 115 and Mong is 111. Mong keeps on pumping stuff through here, and he's going to be able to keep the enemy contained. He just need to keep on doing it. Both players have a lot of money, especially Royal. He's got a ton of money, but it is going to be Mong who expand first. This makes sense. I mean, Mong is going to be able to expand, and Royal need to remake like buildings in some other places on this map. Looks like there's going to be a drop onto the tank. This is a very nice strategy, but new tank just pops out. Who's got the first siege position? We have some other tanks on the other side returning. Keep in mind that those tanks, were useless for a long time. He's under a lot of problems coming out here. These tanks from Royal could try to siege and save his position from the outside, but from now he's under a lot of pressure. SCVs are falling fast and furious here. Mong now has about 25 supply more than his enemy. Royal could not make anything from the factories, and whatever his money has got will be completely useless. But he doesn't have much money anyway because the SCV's line has been cleared out, and this drop just doesn't stop. Mong really know how to abuse the spawning positions and push the enemy to the core. So I guess the winner of this series will be Mong. Congratulations to him. Mong, of course, is not a crappy player by any stretch of imagination. He's still very strong. Okay, we have some raids coming out here just to clear out those units, and we know from Mong he needs additional Goliath to save this. Yeah, he's gonna try to bring back a couple Goliaths here, but by then all of these tanks have died. The drop keeps on coming. SCVs are trying to return. No gas, man. No additional gas for Royal. He is so in a whirl of pain right now. Tanks getting destroyed. SCVs are coming out. There's going to be the 3 raids are not being used at all. These SCVs are trying to go to work on those tanks. GG from Royal. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.